Remember this, we will never sign a treaty on the football field. There will be no peace treaty tonight. They want to play basketball? Let's bring a football game to a football game. They want physical? Let's give them physical. Sir, like I say each and every week, linebackers to the toe, linebackers to the toe. LBs on three, 1, 2, 3, LBs.
All right, welcome back to the Sideline Report. Marvin Jackson here with Barry Barnes and Mike Richmond. And I tell you what, we didn't answer the question, the trivia question, guys. Well, you answered it, but we don't know whether that's right.
Let's blow this up
It
now.
can't
Marvin,
be right.
Listen, I hate to admit it, but Barry was right. It is. The answer to the question is Jim Plunkett.
Jim
I
Plunkett.
didn't like
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Oh, man,
You know, we
That's
got to
pretty
give this
good.
guy some credit.
We
He
gotta
did
give-
answer the question
And that's
correctly.
pretty good for a young guy, right?
Absolutely.
Mike?
Right, because I was just playing, you know, outside in the backyard, in the street and stuff, so I didn't know that kind of stuff.
Jim Plunkett actually won Super Bowl 15 over the Eagles, and then Super Bowl 18 against the Redskins, 38-9. We don't want to remember that game.
That wasn't a fun day for
No,
us.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was playing outside.
Oh, okay. All right. All
So
right.
how did you see the game? How did you know who?
Oh, I do a lot of reading.
And writing.
Oh, yeah, tons of that.
All right. All right. Well, I tell you what, we have another special guest with us, and it is NFL Players Association Assistant Executive Director. I hope I got that right. And that is George Atala. George, welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, George. We want to just actually, in the beginning, just get you to talk about some of the major concerns of the NFL players and why, you know, we're having this lockout situation and that kind of thing.
Well, first of all, the owners opted out of the agreement in May of 2008. We're about 30 days away from a lockout, which is the biggest concern that the players have. And to this point, the owners have asked the players to give back $1 billion a year for the course of the next CBA. If you add that up, last time the CBA was 6 years, that's a $6 to $7 billion concession. They haven't provided any financial transparency for it. And they also want the players to play 2 extra games. So in a nutshell, that's where we are. Unfortunately, when you look at this past season, I mentioned to you guys earlier, I'm in Dallas right now. It's Super Bowl week. They've got a beautiful stadium, great fans coming into town, great game. If you're a historian of the game, you've got 2 traditional teams in the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, the subtext to this entire week is, are we going to have a season in its entirety next year? So that's the players' concern. Frankly, that's every fan's concern. And I wish I had better news for y'all, but that's where we are.
If there is, George, if there is a lockout situation, what type of a delay do you anticipate? I know you mentioned that next season may be in jeopardy, but realistically, what type of delay would you anticipate in getting things rolling? Would it be sometime in the spring before the players report, May, June?
Hopefully it's well before that. It's been reported this week, and your audience should know that we have a negotiating session on Saturday. We hope that we break some new ground during that session. We also have a series of negotiating sessions scheduled between now and March 4th. So that's the only good news I've got. The bad news is their lead negotiators and their lawyers and several owners, I mean, you heard Jerry Jones, or maybe you didn't, say yesterday that his deadline was September 4th, not March 4th. That's concerning to the players because we believe somebody like him that has grown revenue, that has been an influential voice amongst ownership, has basically said that he does not see a sense of urgency in this process. So I can't talk about what's going to happen in terms of, I can't predict what's going to happen. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, we are going to have, if things stand the way they stand today, we'll have a lockout.
Well, I know that with, you know, the whole agreement situation, that if nothing, you know, has come about, you know, on March, you know, in March for them to settle, we know the importance that the players will not be able to come to the facilities and they won't get used to the new coaches there. So if the lockout takes, too long, when it's time for them to hit the field, there may be an issue for us with, health concerns if someone get hurt. But my question is, if they do go to 18 games, are the players looking to, are they expecting for the roster to be increased from 53 to about like 63 just in case, to prevent, injuries?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no question that an 18-game schedule, as it's being proposed now, is a non-starter for the players. We had record-setting injuries this year. Almost 370 players went on IR. That's up to and through the playoffs to this point. And if you count the offseason, that number is close to 450. So there's no question that injuries are a major, major concern. How we deal with off-season workouts are a major concern. Practices are a major concern, not just from a concussion standpoint or an injury standpoint, but wear and tear and the lifespan of a career. You guys know that the average career of a player is 3.5 years, and that player does not have a guaranteed contract. So if he hurts his foot and his career ends on his first day, on the first play of his NFL career, he's gone. So that's the risk that players take, and to add 2 more regular season games to that under the current construct, it just doesn't make any sense.
All right. Well, George, I know you have a lot business to take care of down there in Dallas, and I'm sure you're having a good time also. But please pass on my thanks to D. Smith for us. And you guys get a lot accomplished down there in Dallas, okay?
We're going to try to, and like you said, our enjoyment will start kickoff on Sunday, which just like the rest of the country.
All right. All right. Well, best to you with this the negotiations.
All right. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you very much, George.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
That's good.
All right. So, I mean, let's talk a little more about the Steelers and the Packers. I mean, we have to really get your predictions. That's about all the time we have right now. So where do you where do you stand with the game?
I'm going to have to go with the Steelers.
You're going to go with the Steelers?
They've been there before.
Okay.
No, all Steelers.
Steelers?
Yep.
Scores?
I have 31-21.
24-17.
All right. I'm going to go with the Packers then.
Okay.
I got to go against Isaac, although that's my man. But I'm going to go against Isaac, and I'm going to say 17-13 Packers.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. I'd like to thank also Isaac Redman and George Atala for joining us. And thank you guys.
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Marvin.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So for the rest of the Sideline Report crew, I'm Marvin Jackson, and we'll see you next year. So long, everybody.